I made a scenario based on this. And I'm sadly the AI dungeon is no longer doing the voices. That's what really made it. In case I was not going to be able to make it there, it's happening now. I'm just gonna try this. Blobby's long-haired cat with black fur and dental problems. His 14 years began tumultuously, but after a stint in a home with 2 other cats and a stable bowl of food to protect, he began to purr contentedly against his human, who was mostly annoyed by the medical bills, but did their best to make sure Blobby was properly cared for. Any gaps in care were met with strongly moistened clothes and bed sheets in response. The last years were spent in a palatial open area with a dog to swipe at, and an outdoor space to explore, eat from, and later puke the contents of indoors for later examination. The litter was automated, the feeder was automated, and there were many perching places. Finally, Blobby leaned close to cat-sitting human after a fervent scritching session that alleviated the joint pain, and a nap quickly came, and stayed, and hasn't ended yet. Blobby opened his eyes, and a strange but familiar meadow stretched out before him, and 3 mice offered their throats in a warm greeting. I am the North. Mighty are teeth of a cat. You are a fine guest, be not afraid. After a moment of careful sniffing, Blobby decided that this happened every time he died as a furry being. Time passed, and his memories coalesced and spread like wild rice on a soft breeze. Blobby was loved. Blobby was cherished. Blobby was fed and protected and provided entertainment with sufficient warm blankets that often smelled like home. In younger days, he scratched the furniture, and others living in the same house with claws that sliced wood and cardboard alike. Oh, God, toys make me great. He wailed at times, and no one came around to reprimand him, and everyone worsened his already noisy house. He learned to soothe himself by laying on odd places with one paw raised, and he wound around the bars of his swinging seat so he could see into the 2 different rooms in a home with no yard. Blobby's sharp teeth closed around his throat and massaged it half into his cheek as he purred. The voice from his throat made it easy to talk to the other mice. I'm the lucky one, purred Blobby. I'm of all the mice the best fed, and the fairest of all these. The cats are so sparing of us. The mice humored him. Yes, you are mouse. You are very mouse indeed. Blobby decided this really wasn't the mask. It was his natural state of being. He'd know better if there was less purr and more flatulence. Blobby started to get itchy. Blobby stared at the other mice, who had mostly stopped talking about mouse things. Blobby was about to say, "We are now in a place where we shall never be hungry again." Blobby started to feel very cold. Blobby started to drool. That was before Blobby finished grooming his fur. Blobby woke his cat again. But again, in this field, and again, these three mice. Blobby whiskers prickled, but Blobby purred as much out. Blobby is hungry and puts all three mice in his mouth, letting his tongue sandpaper them into a pate. You shall eat for 2, and then 3, and then even a while, maybe 4. Mouth feels of the throat, a velvety texture. Throat a slithering thing to tongue. After swallowing one mice, the one called North wakes up screaming. The throat laughs, hummed with the vibrations of great laughter. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm going. Okay, it's enough. I gotta go. That was my ritual